That's absolutely fine. So the object of tonight is to pay tribute to Balla's favourite son. And in doing so, we might make a few mistakes here and there. There may be some people that should be here and we may not have them listed. But this is a night out to pay tribute to Larry Fitz. It's not what Tony McMahon or Mick Crowe, it isn't what we want. It's what Larry wants. So I'll ask you to forgive us if we make a few mistakes. I want you to enjoy yourselves, but when he comes in the door, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. He'll be in shortly, okay? Have a good night. And I'd like to introduce you here to Charlie Cheevers. And Charlie and Austin will take up the old cudgel and a good night will be had by all. And you can have anything you want to drink on the house, as long as Willie Carroll pays for it.
This is your life. The Iranian Prince, ladies and gentlemen.
we can have your attention now, please, because this is Larry's night. Larry, do you remember quite recently when I went down to the house? You were sitting down at the table, you had a 40-ounce bottle of vodka in front of you, you were very happy with yourself. Delighted. And I said to you, Larry, that's a lovely bottle of vodka. Where did you get that from?
Oh, Captain Ian, my old mate.
And Tony McMahon, he was always a great mate of yours. Did he bring you down the usual bottle at Christmas?
Left me down.
Well, there's plenty of time yet, Tony. I remember you said to me, Larry, I'm a happily married man. I don't know about her. I'm Limerick's first toy boy. Would you mind, Larry, if the lady that you married in 1972 sat down next to you here? Would you have any objection?
No, she was lucky to get me.
Would you come up here, Marie, your beautiful wife, and sit down next to this man? Because you're sitting down next to him since 1972. There she is. Can you have a chair there, please? Well, anybody who knows Larry Fitzgerald must know the Fitzgerald family. Because the Fitzgerald family are synonymous with sport. We have Hilary and Pauline at present, very much involved with Thomond Rugby Club. Larry, of course, was Mr. Balla, and Liam Fitzgerald, the late Liam Fitzgerald, was Mr. Thomond. Of course, John Fitzgerald is another great sporting personality, and in actual fact, I believe that at one stage he got a mental block, or something went wrong, which Larry tried to fix up with his left fist. When John decided he'd wear the black and amber colours. But Larry was magnanimous, and he said that everyone is entitled to one mistake in life. So after an exchange of a few digs, he accepted the fact. So I was wondering if Tony Fitzgerald, who has given his life also to Ballynanty, if the Fitzgerald family would like to come up and to be associated with Lawrence, the Arabian Prince. We'd be delighted for you to come up here. Because we have a little surprise. Here they come. Hilary, Tony, Pauline, John. And we also have a letter here from Sister Kathleen in Melbourne, Australia, who has written to you on this great day.
I won't read out the letter. The letter is rather lengthy, which just wishes you all the best on your night. Yeah?
Well, Larry, you were born at home on the 26th of June 1942 in 49 High Road, Thomond, sixth child of Mary and Bill. When the midwife entered your home that morning, some of your sisters and brothers actually thought that the bag that the nurse was carrying, the baby was in it. What a beautiful baby. And usually, I think it's normal when every child is born, they cry. And everybody says, ah, and they cry. But with Larry, it was that little bit different. Because he uttered something that sounded like, Mama, Dada. But I don't know what he said, but we do have Nurse Dunbar, the midwife here, and she might be able to tell us what in the name of God he said. Nurse Dunbar. Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Mick.
Do you remember that great morning when Lawrence came into the world?
God, I do.
Was he a bunny baby?
Oh, yeah.
Now, did he say mama or dada? What did he say?
Balla.
Well, Nurse, would you turn around there so that people can see you there? Now, have you any little memento of Larry's birth?
Yes.
What?
I have, yes.
What have you for him?
Lots of little things.
Lots of little things. Would you like to show them to the people here?
Yes.
Thank you. Nurse Dunbar. It's not the little baby, no. What have you, Nurse?
Well, I had this first, Mick.
What is it, love?
It's a napkin. It was a bigger baby than I thought.
So what did you bring? Would you show it to the people, please, what you brought? And Nurse Dunbar, was that all you had for him?
Oh no, he was very cold.
Oh, you have a... What is that, Nurse?
His blanket.
Oh, his blanket. Thank you, that's grand. And tell me, Nurse, have you any other little thing for him?
He was a very cross baby.
And what did you have for him when he was such a cross baby?
A dummy.
And is there anything else for him, Nurse? He's getting his little...
There was no vodka at the time, so I had to give him milk.
And if he had the Windies, what had you for the Windies?
Dry water.
And we have the gripe water this evening. Well, Nurse Dunbar, has been a great pleasure and privilege, and you certainly...
Forgot the baby wipes.
She forgot the paper. Okay, that's absolutely excellent. I wonder, have we a waiter in the house? Would there be anybody there that could bring us up a little bit of light refreshments? Would you like a little drop of vodka? Delighted. Could we have somebody to bring us up a little drop of vodka there for Larry? Yes, we have somebody bringing up a little. Where is he? Ladies and gentlemen. How long have you been a waiter?
I know nothing.
We have, you see, Larry always did things in the double. So when we brought the Fitzgerald family, there are 3 other little people here this evening, and we'd like them to come along. You have Mary, Christopher, and Pat. I will learn Mary because I believe you're the apple of his eye. And can we have Pat and, oh, here's Mary. And Christopher, oh, look at that. And here he comes himself, ladies and gentlemen, for himself. Well, there's no doubt about it, Larry. You have everything made, because where would you get a little lovely girl like Mary, who looks after you very well, and to think that you have Christopher and Pat. Christopher to look after your betting files, and Patty looks after the transport. You couldn't wish for better. Larry was once asked, what would you do if you won the lotto? Well, he said, I don't think I can drink anything more than I'm drinking at the present. Well, Larry, you went to St. Lena's School and you went from there on to St. Munch's CVS, up to the Tech. He also was an altar boy. But during that period of time, there were two people who were always there for Larry. And they're there up to this present day. There's a common thread running through Larry's life. So I'd like to call on your two lifelong friends. One is for 35 years, Pat Deneen and Tom Tierney. Welcome, Pat. Well, Larry and Tom Tierney. I'm sure, Tom, you can remember good old days, and Pat as well. The one thing about Pat is he always came with a bottle of vodka. Tony McMahon, I think you let us down this year. But having said that, Tom, yourself and Larry and Pat, you were together for a good while. You went to school and altar boys and everything else, and you've retained the friendship.
Yeah, I think everybody said he was always nice and quiet and everything like that, but most of the times I remember was, anytime I turned around there was always a row or arguments or something like that, so hopefully tonight it'll be a bit different than that.
You're very optimistic. Pat Deneen, 35 years, a regular visitor on Christmas Day with that bottle that McMahon keeps forgetting.
Well, for the last few years now, I changed it from the drop of vodka to a drop of whiskey, because he's dear boy to have a drop of whiskey as well.
So they're your two lifelong friends. Thank you very much indeed, lads. Thank you. Larry's first job was with the ESSA Petroleum Company, where he worked with a man called Brian Geary, who up to this evening had every intention of coming here. Unfortunately, he's become ill. But I took the liberty of getting in contact with the ESSA Petroleum Company, and I asked them if they could give me some little pointers about Larry when he worked for them. And their spokesman, who wishes to remain anonymous, for several reasons. He said, do you remember there a few years ago, the Torres Canyon? I said, yes, it was a ship. That's right, he said, it was the biggest tanker in the world. And it ran aground and broke up in Canada. He said, we lost more oil in Canada and in the United States, he said. But he said, it was nothing in comparison to what we lost with Larry. You have a lot of friends through the soccer, and testimony to your popularity. We have a gentleman here this evening who is the Vice President of the Schoolboy Football Association of Ireland, Jerry McCormack. Welcome, Jerry. Was he honest?
Jerry wasn't the worst. His only regret was I couldn't forbeat Balla.
I must tell you a little story about Larry. I didn't know I was going to be called here tonight, but many years ago, the SFI came down to Limerick to sort out problems. And before they met us, we met in the Glenwood Hotel. Larry, George Mitchell, Gabby Gutton, Joe Milan, Paddy Fitzgerald. I was only a little garçon getting into this thing with all these people that were regulars on it. And we agreed a policy. We'd go down, we'd listen, answer a few questions, that would be it. So we go down to the old Cruises Hotel, 7:30. The big chiefs are there from the SFI, lasers, toys, telling us what to do with the league and football in Limerick. And as I said, we all agreed we'd listen. Larry walks in, bowed his breast. and before they could open their mouth, Larry starts off with them. I think they were sorry they came to Limerick because they didn't say a word, and I think they left even more confused than what they arrived. So Larry, I think you put a lot of people straight in there there. And with George Mitchell, I think George, if you said tonight, Gabby Button would be proud of you. Well done, Larry.
Thank you very much, Jerry McCormick. Well, after your tenure of office with SO, Larry, Paddy Cusick, your lifelong friend, suggested to you that you should get into where the real dough was. And you've certainly cottoned on very well. As a matter of fact, Larry, the entire Midwestern region was your paradise. But you were well got in Clare. As a matter of fact, you were known as the fastest bread man in 6 Mile Beach. You were asked there by one of the shopkeepers coming up to St. Patrick's Day, Larry, well, Keen's will they bring out a green bread wrapper? And Larry said, well, I don't know about that, he said, but would you settle for a couple of green pans? They still have the green pans, I can assure you. But, what's that? That's O'Callaghan smells. But again, Larry, all through this time, Balla was the central figure in your life. You were mad about Balla, and I can always remember, Larry would always go into the dressing room before the game and he would say, lads, we have 90 minutes to do it, or we have 12 months to regret our mistake. And it was great if we won. We had a victory, it was what we were used of. But if we had a defeat, we would get back into the dressing room, and the first thing Larry would say, there's a fucking objection here. There has to be an objection here. And I'll call on Tony McMahon to come up and to verify this, because Tony, who didn't bring the bottle of vodka, would be able to tell his story. So, are you there, Tony? But if you're not, setting up the vodka. And here he comes himself, Anthony McMahon.
What about the 40 bottles I brought you, Larry? Well, Mick, I always felt, being involved in committee with Larry, that he had an extraordinary grasp of the rules of football. Not just the rules of football, but the rules of the Football Association of Ireland. They used to speak of the late Tom Joyce, with Pike, who had something similar to Larry, this great knowledge of the rules. And you remember yourself, Michael, the FEI team of 75, when we went up to the north of Ireland and we played a team up there. And even before we went up, Larry knew instinctively that one of their players was illegal. In fairness to Ballinanty, we told them the night before. A fella called Liam Monaghan. We were beaten 2-0 by a team of supposedly under 18-year-olds who in fact were pioneering under 23 football in the north of Ireland at the time. But subsequently at the FEI meeting, we had the evidence, Larry pressed the case, we won our objection and we got the final in Limerick. And history records we won it 2-0. But there was also another objection, a little more controversial, back in the 60s, when we met a local club whose name we shan't mention. And we were beaten. But again, Larry felt there was a strong case here for an objection. So, in typical fashion at the time, we met on a Tuesday night, and sometime around 1 o'clock in the morning we decided we're going to object. And then Larry said, hang on a second, if we want to object, you have to object within 48 hours. This was about 54 hours afterwards. But another committee member, who thankfully isn't here because I wouldn't like to get him into hot water, said, I can fix that. I can organise that. So the Wednesday, which was the 8th, was too late. But a letter duly arrived anyway, above in the FAI, stamped the 7th. Somehow mysteriously stamped just in time. And my brother Dave was secretary of the club at the time. He's not here tonight either. But he had gone away to organise, to put in, you had to put in a fee with your objection. So he went away, of course, and he bought a postal order. And the following week, as we sat down to our meeting, we said, Larry, would you go away and check with the FAI? Who are we meeting in the next round? We were so confident that the objection would go through. So Larry rang the FAI. He got the secretary of the FAI, Joe Wickham, and Joe came on and he says, yes, he says, we got your letter up, he says, from Limerick, he says. And it's very good, he says. On the outside, he said, the letter was posted on the 8th, and in a shagging postal order it dated the 9th. He says, not alone did you not get the objection, we're coming down to investigate us.
Thank you for that line. Well, as we're aware, Larry made many, many friends in the football scene, from current internationals, junior internationals, senior internationals, schoolboy internationals, holders of FAI Cup winners' medals and everything else. You name them, and Larry met them. And they all respected Larry because of his knowledge of the game, and certainly his knowledge as an objector. But this evening we have one of Limerick's favourite sons, a man that I have never seen play a substandard game as often as I saw him play. A man that represented his country on more than 12 occasions. A man who was voted the Professional Footballers Player of the Year. Well known, Al Finucane. So will you come up, Alan, and say hello to Larry? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he hasn't changed a bit.
Thank you, Dr. Larry. This is Fitzgerald. Unfortunately, I'm not from Ballinanty. Although I did marry a girl from Ballinanty, so maybe I qualify. Okay?
You give us a plant. I said you give us a plant.
You know, as you all know, Limerick is famous for being a sporting city. And we've produced many wonderful individual sporting stars and indeed sporting teams down through the years. But without people like Larry, who sponsor the game at youth level and schoolboy level, and who give kids the opportunity to go along and express themselves, we wouldn't have these things. Not only does Larry help kids all through the years to develop themselves as people and personalities, but he does a community service as well by keeping kids off the street rather than stealing cars or breaking into houses. Larry had been playing football all through the year and all through the levels. And on behalf of all those kids and all those sporting people of Limerick, I'd just like to say to Larry, thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, as time went on, Larry, it was mooted by the club that we should extend our expertise and hit off to foreign lands. And I think it was your proposal or your invitation that we hit off to Germany. And on our way to Germany, we needed an interpreter. We really did, because our second language, although it's universal, wouldn't suit. But we were very fortunate to get a gentleman who not alone looked after our temporal welfare, but also our spiritual welfare. And that man was Father Michael Culhane, and he's here with us this evening. And would you put your hands together to welcome a lovely gentleman, Father Culhane. Here we go. Welcome, Father.
Yeah, thanks very much. I didn't know when I got a phone call from Mick 2 weeks ago that there was a few words involved, so I haven't got a formal speech ready, but I am certainly absolutely delighted to be so closely associated with this wonderful tribute, wonderful occasion, because a tribute to Larry is so appropriate. Just to re-echo Alfie Nukin's sentiments about the enormous contribution which he made to the community. Mick mentioned the trip to Germany, and I think that was an occasion that not alone footballers who were being trained by Larry, not alone did they play at international standards, but it was also a very fine social occasion. For instance, remember, Mick was listed for some reason, he was one of the leaders or organisers of the trip, and he was listed as Dr. Crowe. I don't know how that came about, but on the Saturday afternoon, a few days after arriving, we were sitting in the lounge watching a video replay of one of the games where we'd drawn with Switzerland. And one of the German coaches, Herr Steinbrecher, he was a very stout man, and he was drinking a few beers, and he said to me, he said, I'm not feeling well. He said, I have a pain in my chest. Would you tell Dr. Crowe, please? So I mentioned to Mick that Herr Steinbrecher wasn't feeling too well. I remember he said to me, well, would you ever tell him that it's better for him to see his own doctor, because standards vary from place to place in terms of treatment, and it would be better for him to see his own expert. So Herr Steinbrecher had a few more beers and said he was feeling better, and we all felt very much relieved. So thanks very much, and delighted.
Thank you, Father Culhane. It's an amazing thing that the effect that Father Culhane had on all these young lads, including Larry and Tony McMahon, who didn't bring down the vodka, and a few more of us. Would you credit it that Lord Morgan will verify this, and that's as sure as I'm riding this bicycle, that on one particular occasion we went into this drama shop called Uncle Villy's. And there were all the lads sitting down, quiet as children. And we looked around, and they were all looking at a video. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And that actually happened. But anyway, during Larry's early days, before he met this beautiful lady, Saturday night, the Borough was the venue. Talk about Travolta fever. When Larry hit up there, he was the cheerleader. And up from the Balla boys up to the Borough Club, and that went on for a number of years, as a result of which we have some of those lads here this evening. We have the chairman, with Tony Murphy, with Togsy, and there's another colleague of theirs there, and they're here to pay tribute to Larry. So could I ask those lads to come up and to say hello to all Larry? Tony Murphy, the Bonna Brigade. Jeremy, sorry, here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy, Tony, Togsy. Hold on a minute, lads. Hold on a minute, come back here. Tony, well, Larry was going up at that time with the Balla Brigade, right? Was he a good customer?
The best.
Have any any little scale you could tell us about us? Was he well behaved? We'll forget that question. What do you think of Larry as a man that's been involved with sports, especially Balla, schoolboy league, football, and everything else?
Larry is, I know, done tremendous work for schoolboy football right across the town. And we in James have the highest respect for him. And for the club he was associated with that way.
Thank you very much indeed. Mr. Mick, Tomsey, you were able to float an our objection or two in your own time. What do you think of Larry's standard?
We learned a lot from Larry. Larry used to come up every Sunday night and spill the beans. He used to tell us how it was done, and we got on great with Larry. We used to enjoy Larry coming up. I know it was a bit late when he came up, but he was always welcome at any time.
Well, lads, thanks very much, and well done to you all. Andy, I remember some time when you were married. Lads, can I have your attention, because this is a once-off. Please, just for a few minutes. When you were married in 1972, it was a wonderful day. And I believe Tony McMahon was the best man that day as well. It's the chap who didn't give it a vodka. So, on that particular day, it was wonderful. And we had somebody here this evening who was the manager, Larry, of the Shannon Arms Hotel. Could we have the manager, please, of the Shannon Arms Hotel? As manager of the hotel, were you paid?
Well, no.
And have you any little thing there to remind them? What's that, Larry? Or what's that?
There was another man was implicated in it, Tony McMahon. He said he'd post the bill.
And is that the bill you're giving them now since 1970? Well, the cheque is in the post, Fonzie. So, thank you very much indeed. There we go, Fonzie. Now, Larry, when I was down at your house that day, we were having a little chat. When I was with you, Larry, I asked you, in your opinion, who had the best prospects of becoming an international? Who was the best player that you ever had at schoolboy football? And you surprised me with the answer. Do you remember the answer you gave me, under 14?
I'd say Tony Meany.
Said Tony Meany, but on the day I was down after 40 ounces of vodka, you mentioned the name Willie Carroll. You promised Willie Carroll an international cap. And you said if he went easy on the drink, playing under 14, that you'd get great praises for him. So I have reason to believe that at a great and enormous expense, that Willie is under some table. Have we got him there, Andy? Have we got him? Well, while we're waiting for Willie, is Willie gone? Oh, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the schoolboy who is going to be an international. Good Willie, put your hands together.
So, all the balls and all the wind. That was the one you promised me years ago.
Where'd you get it, Willie?
He told me I was getting an Irish cap. It was the thing I got. I couldn't put up with you any longer, Larry. You said Willie Power, God rest him in the
Did he promise you an international cap, Willie?
International cap, and Willie ended up giving me a tassel. No.
And were you drinking, Willie, at that time, under 14?
Well,
all right, we forget that question. So,
my mama used to tell me I used to take a little shot now and again, but I know I used have to.
But are you still the man you used to be?
I'd always be the man I used to be.
So you're not disappointed with Larry?
No, how could I be disappointed with Larry? With the size of me, I never drove since.
Thank you very much, Willie. As we go on along, when Larry was working with Kings and Tony McMahon and Ginger Cronin, that were his buddies. And Tony and Ginger, they weren't carrying big bobs at the time, but Larry was. Larry could have £1,000 rolled up in single notes in his pocket. And according to Ginger, Mandrake the magician, Paul Daniels, wouldn't be able to do what he used to do. He could whip out a single pawn out faster than anybody else. He could even peel an orange in his pocket. That was him. But Larry took the team to the FA Cup final. And on the way up, we got the great facilities and great help from a man who has English Cup medal, Irish Cup medal, a man who is one of Limerick's adopted sons. The man who has done an awful lot and helped us. And when I asked Larry, what did he think of him? Larry said, one of our own, Ewan Fenton. Ladies and gentlemen, our adopted son. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your Fenton.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to think back, and I go back. I've been here 37 years now, and when I arrived in Limerick, I had terrible problems because the senior club and the junior clubs, there was a bit of a rift between the two. But I must say, going back over all those years, Balla Football Club helped me a great deal. And any time I needed anything, I could always come to Balla, and they had no objections. They were very kind, and they had released players, and this was a great help to me. The thing I should mention also is, okay, I'm a rich man. No, that's my problem. I have no money. But when I come along to a function of this nature and see so many faces that I've known over all the years and the good friends that I have all over the years, it does my heart the world of good. And to be asked along to a function such as this, it's a great privilege to be able to say to Larry, have a good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ewan Fenton. As we progress on that particular line, Larry was manager of the team that went into the FAI Junior Cup final, and we played Whitehall, and unfortunately we did not have the victory. We were beaten 2-0. And Larry was sitting down in Hogan's on the Tuesday, and this chap at the counter, after about 7 or 8 or 9 pints, turned around and said, "Larry, that was a bad team." Larry looked at him and said, "If that was a bad team, well, I must be the best manager in Europe to get him into the final." But talking about that team, Larry, did they have a special name? Were they known as a special gang?
The Cato Gang.
Can And we have the Taylor gang up here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here they come. Hey, the Taylor Brigade. Hi, Pat. Pat O'Callaghan. Papa Ryan. And Noel Long. Noel, as members of the Taylor gang, have you anything to say about Larry and his coaching?
Just to regret to be associated with Larry down through the years and the crack we had with him. We will never ever forget it or be able to thank him for the good times we had with him.
What a lovely thing to say. Papa?
No, I have nothing to say except that it was a privilege to play under him.
And Pat, jeez, I can see what's all that. How are you? All right, Connie.
The only thing I can say is probably the most wonderful manager I have ever met in my whole life.
As we had a lot of lads there at that time, and I see them around there, and I'd like them to come up here. I don't have to call their names out. You have the great Frankie McInerney, Nolly Morgan. Come on, lads, let's come over and say hello to our mate. Come on. Are we? Oh, they're very shy. Come on, Frankie McInerney, ladies and gentlemen. Is Christy Tobin down there? Tommy Cross. Come on, lads. Come on, the Balla old boys, and come up and say hello to Lawrence, the Arabian Prince. More wanted, lad. What's that? Tommy Cross is here as well, and Christy Tobin. Come on, Pucci. And here's Balla Haller, my brother of the waiter. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, John Slater, all the way from the US of A. Welcome, John. Could we have more vaunt for Larry, please? Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd have one look at what's going to happen, we're going to make a presentation now to Larry. And this is a presentation, it's a portrait, and it's been presented by Frankie McInerney. Larry, would you stand up and we'll have one look at that beautiful portrait.
On behalf of the past and present, and all your friends in football, well done, Larry.
Thank you very much indeed. I'd like to welcome now, ladies and gentlemen, going from the soccer to the social line, now coming on a situation where we have a very important lady here this evening, a lady who's done Trojan work down through the years for Limerick, and she's Deputy Mayor this evening, Senator Jan Sullivan. Jan Sullivan. Senator Sullivan, please.
Thank you very much, Mick, and I'm here tonight representing the Mayor as Deputy Mayor, and I think it is very appropriate that the Mayor should be represented on an occasion like this. I don't think I can put it better than Al Fanou can put it, the importance of Larry and the many other people like him around this city that make Limerick what it is, that make it such a warm, caring place where people give of their time, give of their enthusiasm, and enjoy the bit of crack as well, but give of their energy and their enthusiasm to their sport and to their community. And I'm delighted to be here representing the Mayor, honouring Larry tonight for all he's done over the years. and honouring the kind of spirit that he represents, that spirit of community that is Limerick, and that spirit of dedication to sport and dedication to the people around you. So I just congratulate Larry and all of his family and everybody who organised this thing tonight, and especially the good doctor here beside me on my left. So just on behalf of the Mayor and on behalf of all the citizens of Limerick, congratulations Larry on everything you've done. Well done.
Thank you, Sandra, and the very best of luck to you. As time is ticking away, ladies and gentlemen, we have another one of Limerick's favourite sons, and I don't know whether he'll be able to say a few words this evening, but he's a man that led Limerick onto the field and when they played Real Madrid, Southampton, a man that was skippered Limerick for FAI Cup, League of Ireland Championship. My very good friend, if he can, might come up in remembering the days he played with Prospect when he was coming up as a schoolboy, the great games they had against Balla, the late Mick Crowe and all the lads were playing. And there was a great rapport at that stage, still lives on. And I do know that the man I'm going to call on will be one of your favourites like he is mine, Joe Mahoney. Thank you very much indeed. That's a very thank you, Joe.
Thanks very much. It's an honour for me to be asked here tonight, lads. And I'm a bit like Alfred Oaken, I was born in Prospect. But the highest compliment I could pay Larry was that the borough lads are here, the late Joe McCarthy, your Bomber Sheehan in Weston, and Pavel Mott in Prospect. And I put Larry in the same bracket. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. I'd now like to call on Pat Sheehan, our chairman of Ballinanty Rovers, to come up and to make another presentation to Larry. Pat Sheehan, please. Is Pat there? Sorry?
Coming.
All right, Betty. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, can we have the presentation for the plaque for Larry, please? Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman.
What can I say? I don't know about Larry Fitz. Right? I know it's right. I hear so much rumours about him. I don't believe it. Right? I don't believe him. I don't know. But he's a great help to me as chairman of Ballinanty Rovers. Any problems I have, I know I can go to Larry and ask him. And his brothers, right? Tony and the rest of the lads from the Fitz family. I think I can ask any problem I ever have. Now, there's a beautiful crowd here tonight, and I can't help but saying it, right? I wish we had him every week. I know I'm chairman of Ballinanty Rovers now, but I'm a young chairman, right? But we need more of you back in the club. We have to have it, lads. Put it down for that.
Thank you, Pat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all down through the years, and especially in 1974-75, when Balla won the FAI Minor Cup, our mayor on that particular occasion was Pat Kennedy. And Pat Kennedy has had a great association, a great affiliation with Ballinanty Rovers all down through the years. And I wonder if Pat is here, would he like to say a few words as he's always done? And remember, Pat, very good to the Balla Club office. Could we have Councillor Pat Kennedy, please? Thank you very much indeed.
Deputy Mayor, Dr. Crowe and fellow citizens of Limerick. I'm very grateful and delighted to be with you on this historic and great occasion. I'd like to thank Dr. Crowe and all of you who have conceived and pioneered this idea, a brilliant idea of honouring Larry and his family. When I come here tonight, I come from the back of the monument, of course, and I'd like to pay tribute to Larry for the endeavour and the fantastic work that he has done in promoting sport and in promoting community spirit in this area. Indeed, when I come here tonight, as Father Culhan might say, Ish bin ein Ballinanter. But I think that we're all delighted to be here. I'm sorry that my wife can't be here tonight because herself and Dr. Crowe would sing a very special song, I'm sure. But we're here tonight to honour a great man. We're very grateful for the life of Larry, and we wish him many happy and very successful years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark Kennedy. I think we have another Balla man around here somewhere. I don't know. He beat me twice anyway in the election, the council. I don't know, is it John Quinn? Is there a John Quinn around there? Come on, John. Come on up here and say a few words.
Dear friends, it is a great honour and a privilege to be here tonight to join with you all in honouring Larry. I'm here as a Ballinanty resident. I'm carrying a number of caps, but it's indeed a pleasure to join with you. Many years ago, in the term of Frank McInerney as chairman, I had the honour of being an honorary vice president of Ballinanty Rovers when we put the club above in Capanty. Those days are gone, but Ballinanty is there, stronger than ever. And I have great pride in reading the papers and watching their successes. So Larry, it all started with you, and we're very, very proud of you in Ballinanty.
Thank you. Well, Larry, we're coming towards the end of our little This Is Your Life. There's a lot of things that we have left out. But I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't say, Marie, would you say a few words into that for me, please? About that lovely book.
I just can't believe the crowd is here tonight, and I want to thank them all from the bottom of my heart. I'm Larry, from Larry and myself. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming.
Thank you very much. I'd like you to join in. Congratulations and relations. Ladies and gentlemen, and now that Charlie and Austin are getting on, I'd like to thank you very much. Thank you on behalf of Larry and Maureen. And just to remind you that next year, the Balla Old Boys will have another night out. So will you get your feet, please, and give a little round to our friend.
Bye.
I'd like to thank everyone that's here, everyone that contributed to
Vodka.
the trophies. And a special thanks to Mick Crowe who organised this, I presume. Good luck.
We have a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very big surprise. If you could wait for just a minute, I want to ask Larry a question, and I think I'll get the answer. Larry, who was your favourite international rugby player, whether it was from England, Germany, Wales, Scotland, whatever? Who was your favourite player?
Father McBride.
Father McBride, and the name is?
Soccer player. One was Georgie.
No, it wasn't Georgie Best, it was Dennis Law, and we have here, by kind courtesy of Dave McMahon, who was in contact with Dennis Law during the week, and we have a fax here, and Tony McMahon will read it out.
Thanks, lads. Yes, in fact, Dennis Law, we were in touch with Dennis Law during the week, and he's writing to Larry a personal note, and he's also sending on an autographed copy of his book. But in typical fashion, it hasn't arrived. So he rang this morning to see was it here, and when we were able to tell him it hadn't arrived yet, he decided, in fact, to send us a fax. And I'll just read the fax for you. It comes from Meadows End, Bowden, Hale, Cheshire in Manchester. And it reads as follows. Dear Larry, I'm sorry I can't be with you this evening. As you can appreciate, it's a very special anniversary here in Manchester, and I'm attending a club function. I am told you were a fan of mine in my playing days, and I deeply appreciate your support. While I managed the odd goal for Scotland, I got very few against Ireland, and I had quite a few battles with my old teammate Noel Cantwell. They tell me you called me the King, but it's a title I could never have attained without the help and assistance of people like you, who coached and managed youngsters and gave them an interest which, in my case, I managed to turn into a most enjoyable livelihood. The real kings are the unsung heroes who gave kids like me their first taste of this great game. Enjoy the night and keep up the good work for Ballinanty Rovers, and it's signed Dennis Law.
Thank you, Tony. That brings our This Is Your Life to an end, ladies and gentlemen. So please go on and enjoy yourself. Noel Morgan is looking splendid over there. Lovely to see you, Noel. So give it a gallop. Thank you very much indeed.